Welcome to One Pot Paradise, where we bring the bold and vibrant flavors of Jamaica, the Caribbean, and America straight to your kitchen. From authentic island classics like jerk chicken, oxtail, and curried goat, to hearty American comfort food and creative fusion dishes, we show you how to whip up delicious, mouth-watering meals with ease. Our goal is to inspire you to explore new flavors, embrace your love for cooking, and turn every meal into a delicious celebration. If you love what you see, don't forget to subscribe to One Pot Paradise for more flavorful recipes. Hit that like button and share our videos with your friends and family. Let's spread the joy of cooking and eating together.
Going to be Jamaican sweet potato pudding. This is just absolutely delicious. So here I have 2 pounds of sweet potatoes, also a nice piece of white yam, and a beautiful dry coconut. I'm going to peel these potatoes and try and use Jamaican potatoes or the Caribbean potatoes. The foreign potatoes tend to be a bit watery and sometimes wouldn't give you that nice pudding texture. So when you're choosing potatoes, try and choose the potatoes that don't have that bright orange skin, right? So now after peeling, I'm going to add these to some water, and this will help to keep them moist, and this will be a bit easier when grating. So now that our sweet potatoes are peeled and washed, I am going to grate these just as how our grandparents used to do, the authentic, original way. It's a bit tiring, and I'm not going to lie, but the end result would be worth it. But rest assured, you could cut up your potatoes into small pieces, add that to the blender with a bit of liquid, and blend until smooth, which is what a lot of people do just to save time. But I want to show you the authentic way, which I really don't mind doing. Right, so know that the hardest task is done. This is its texture. It's a bit loose, and this is where the yam comes in. The yam is used as a binding agent. Yellow yam is most commonly used, but you could use a piece of white yam or cocoa, or even a piece of dasheen would work perfect. I'm going to grate the yam as well. This texture is a bit slippery, but it's just perfect. This is what is going to bind the sweet potato together. Just going to mix that in. And also to this, I'm going to grate a piece of coconut, which will give this sweet potato pudding texture and flavor. And I'm telling you, this is the authentic way. No shortcuts. I also went ahead and blend the remaining coconut, which gave me about 3 cups of fresh coconut milk, which I will incorporate later. Right, so now that we have the base of the sweet potato pudding, the grated sweet potato, the yam, which is used as the binding agent, and some freshly grated coconut, now I'm going to mix that in. I'm going to put this aside. Now it's time to make the coconut milk and some spices. Now to a cup, I'm going to add the 3 cups of freshly blended coconut. Yes. Also some sugar. I'm going to add some mixed spice, some cinnamon powder, some freshly grated nutmeg, some molasses, which not only gives color but flavor, some vanilla essence, some rose water, and some melted butter. I'm going to mix this together. I want to tell you, this is smelling, this is tasting good. Just mix until it's nicely dissolved. But before I combine all the ingredients, I'm going to shred a piece of fresh ginger, which will give an awesome flavor. Also to this, I'm going to add 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm going to mix this in nicely. And because we're making a pudding and not a cake, you don't have to be concerned about over mixing. Just mix, making sure all the lumps are gone. And also you can combine your ingredients over which way you like. You really don't have to use the technique that I use. I just try to make it as easy as possible. Now after this, I'm gonna add about 2 to 2.5 cups of this flavorful coconut mixture, leaving back just a bit behind for the top of the pudding for that nice soft custard. Gonna mix everything together until it's nicely mixed in. Note that this is nicely mixed and smelling so good. You could go ahead and taste your butter, but when I tell you, this is tasting so delicious. But last but not least, which is optional, I'm gonna add some soaked currants or raisins, and this was soaking in some rum, which also gives this pudding a kick in flavor. Just gonna mix this nicely. I'm gonna grease my baking pan. I'm gonna pour the butter in. I'm going to cover with some foil paper, and to our preheated oven, I'm going to allow this to bake for about 1.5 hours at about 350 degrees. And I'll make sure to put a full ingredient amount down below in the description box. While the sweet potato pudding is baking, I'm going to pour the remaining flavorful coconut mixture to a bowl, along with some more sugar, yes, also some molasses to give it that beautiful brown color. I'm going to pour this on top of the pudding when it's out the oven, creating that soft, sweet custard that I love so much. 1.5 hours later, the pudding is not fully cooked, but it's formed nicely. I'm going to remove the foil. I'm going to add the coconut custard on top, back in the oven uncovered for a remaining 40 minutes or until it's done. And I have baked sweet potato pudding covered in foil and without foil, and the results are the same. It's just that when it have the foil on, it takes a little bit longer. Total of 2.5 hours of baking, and the sweet potato pudding is ready, smelling absolutely delicious. But you want this to sit and cool down for at least 2 hours before cutting into it. And there you have it, authentic Jamaican sweet potato pudding with the beautiful sweet soft custard on top. The only thing that was missing was that it was not done outdoors under the coal and wood fire. But apart from that, this was perfect. I should have waited for it to cool down just a little bit more before cutting into it, in order to get a firmer texture. But I really could not wait any longer. This brought back so many memories. This was, oh my goodness, I don't have words. This was just absolutely delicious. I just want to thank you